Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Surrey Experience, episode 58. How you guys doing? I'm a little sleep deprived, but I'm doing great. I don't know if you guys heard, but I had a baby a few weeks ago, a beautiful, healthy baby. But I kind of underestimated how much care goes into raising a newborn. Dude, I was totally unprepared going in. Like, I didn't read any parenting books. I didn't take any of those prenatal bullshit classes you're supposed to take. I thought it'd be a piece of cake. Part of me thought like the wife would do most of the heavy lifting, but man, I had no idea what a commitment it was. I thought babies just slept all day. I didn't realize you had to like feed them every 3 hours. They wake up at like 2 a.m. just screaming at the top of their lungs till you feed them. And then you gotta burp them, and then you gotta change them. And then by the time you do that, it's time to feed them again. It like never ends, dude. It's like a 24-hour a day job. In retrospect, like all my buddies try to warn me, all my buddies with kids try to warn me, but I always brushed them off. I always called them like pussies in my head. But nothing could prepare you for that moment, though. It was such a trippy experience, man. Like being in the delivery room when the baby comes. I just walked in like la di da. And then when I went in the room, there's like 10 people in there. There's like blood flying all over the place, fucking alarms going off. And then 10 minutes later, they just hand me this like naked crying baby. Dude, I was so overwhelmed by the whole experience. Like, I could barely cut the umbilical cord, whatever the fuck that thing is, right? The nurse had to like walk me through how to like use scissors again. That's how like in over my head I was. It was crazy, man. Right? So we had the baby on a Friday, right? And then the next day the nurse comes and they teach you how to like feed the baby and then change the diapers and all that. And then on like Sunday morning, they're like, all right, get the fuck out of here. We got a new pregnant broad who needs the room. It's like, dude, that's it? You're just going to let me go home with the baby? Are you guys nuts? I swear to God, dude, I felt like calling child services on those nurses. And then you come home and there's no doctors, there's no nurse. It's just you and the baby, and you just got to figure it out on your own. You know me, though. You know what I did. As soon as we got home, I called my mom and I was like, Mom, take the next like 15 days off work and come here right now. As soon as my mom came over, I just handed her the baby and collapsed to the ground. It was like a Hallmark moment for sure. I probably should have read a few books beforehand now that I look back at it. But a lot of the shit you just learn on the go. It's a trip, man. Like, even though babies can't talk, they have a way to like communicate with you. They communicate through their crying. Like, anytime the baby wants milk, he'll cry out, but it sounds like he's saying Allah. So he'll be like, Allah, Allah, Allah. And it's like, all right, the baby wants milk. And if he needs like a diaper change, he'll cry out, but it honestly, it sounds like he's saying the N word. So he'll be like, Nia, Nia, Nia. And you're like, oh, the baby just shit his pants. Where's the diapers at? The best is when you think the baby shot his diaper and then you open it and it's only pee. Oh man, that's the best feeling ever. It's like working a 4-hour shift instead of an 8-hour shift. I never thought I was going to be the diaper changer. In my head, I was just going to like let the wife do it, but it doesn't work like that, man. I had a friend who was trying to like coach me through how to get out of like changing diapers. He's like, all you got to do is like not change the diaper properly for like the first 100 shits. Then the wife will get so pissed she'll just take over the whole diaper operation. So I tried it a few times. Like, I tied the baby's diaper really loose on purpose, right? And the poor kid would like pee all over himself, and like he kept crying, and I just couldn't do it, man. I had to call my buddy and be like, I don't know if I could go through with this. And he's like, bro, trust me, it'll be worth it in the long run, man. But it's like, dude, the poor kid's like swimming in his own feces. My buddy's like, dude, don't worry, man. That's fine. Just do it for another 2 weeks or so and you'll never have to change a diaper again. But I was like, I can't, man. I can't do it. If I hear my son screaming the N word at the top of his lungs, I got to do something about it. I had a baby boy, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. I wanted to have a boy too. I know you're not allowed to say that anymore in this woke bullshit world we live in. I know I'm supposed to want a daughter because of the sins of our fathers. Back in the day, if you had like a daughter in Indian culture, the parents would think like God was mad at him or some shit. Fucking Neanderthals, I swear. So now, because it's 2022 and we know better, I'm supposed to want a daughter to overcorrect that. But just personally, I wanted a son, man. Is that a crime? Am I not allowed to want what I want, you know? I just wanted a healthy baby boy or a girl. I was good with either, obviously, but if I was allowed to choose, healthy baby boy all day, no question. Does that make me an asshole? Because according to all my wife's friends, that makes me an asshole. This broad in my wife's family asked me at the baby shower, she's like, so Bindi, were you hoping for a boy or a girl? And I had a little champagne in me, a couple seltzers, you know? So I'm like, I want a boy all day, you know? And this fucking broad got so offended. She like found my phone number and sent me a Lily Singh TED Talk. Oh man, normally I wouldn't have watched it, but I'm a Lily Singh fan, you know? I think she's funny. So I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a chance. Maybe I'll learn something from this Lily Singh TED Talk, right? So basically Lily Singh does this TED Talk where she's talking about gender equality in India or some shit. I bailed after like the first 5 minutes, I'm not gonna lie. But she was basically like, when she was born a girl, no one called from India to congratulate her parents, and no one handed out sweets because her family wanted a son and not a daughter, and how difficult Lily Singh's life has been, and blah, 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 blah. Dude, I gotta find out who Lily Singh's PR person is, man. I wanna hire him. Or them, I should say. Her fucking PR team is killing it. The chick's got so much going for her. She's basically got every advantage anyone could ever ask for in this world. And they still paint her out to be this victim. Right? Like, yeah, she might be a millionaire. She might get roles like beyond her jurisdiction. But did you know her family didn't hand out sweets when she was born? Yeah, she might go to those weird Hollywood eyes wide shut parties where they like drink baby blood. But did you know she's confused about her sexuality? And also she's Indian? It's like, dude, she's a fucking multi-millionaire, man. She's living the dream. Why am I feeling sorry for this chick? She made it. Why am I feeling sympathetic towards her? You know? It's actually fucking brilliant, man. Her publicist or whoever deserves a raise. Dude, I can't wait to see what sympathy card they pull when like Jimmy Kimmel retires and they need a new Tonight Show host. Lily Singh's PR team's gonna go so hard. I wouldn't be surprised if they made Lily Singh come out as a transsexual just to get that job. It's gonna be like the Tonight Show hosted by Lalu Singh. That's Lily Singh's tranny name. I don't know, but yeah, I have a son, man, and I'm happy. Does that make me a monster? I'm sorry Lily Singh's grandparents didn't celebrate when she was born, but I had a boy, and boy did I celebrate. But I would have celebrated equally if I had a daughter, all right? Is that cool? Does that satisfy all the woke assholes out there? My wife wanted to have a girl, and no one says shit to her, but I'm not allowed to want a boy. How does that make sense? And I didn't want a boy because I think like men are better than women either. I wanted a boy because I'm a boy. I'm going to know what the kid's thinking before he thinks it. You know what I mean? I just went through all this shit myself, so it'll be easier for me to guide my child to have a better life. I wouldn't be able to do that if I had a daughter. I don't know what it's like to have a period or have like all those emotions women have, but I'll know exactly what to tell my son when puberty hits. Right? Like when he's in grade 4 or 5 and he comes home with that confused look on his face. I'm going to know what happened. I'm going to be like, son, you popped your first boner, didn't you? It'll probably be in like grade 3 if it's my family. Right? And then I'm just going to guide him through it. I'm going to be like, sit down, son. Let me explain what's going on here. You see, son, your great-grandfather was a warrior. Dude, I'm totally starting the first boner speech with a history lesson. You see, son, our ancestors were warriors. And that's why your blood is starting to flow a lot faster than the rest of the kids in your class. You see, son, first we were warriors, and then we were farmers, and now we buy and sell real estate. And that's why you're popping woodies at a 6th grade level. I never got the first boner talk from my dad when I was a kid, because he was always at work. I got the first boner talk from my cousin, and he was like 3 months younger than me. But all that shit that like males go through, I'll be able to hold my son's hand through it. Because I remember like my boyhood like it was yesterday. Like when he starts dating, oh, that's your girlfriend, you say. Well, you see, son, just like every step of the way, I'll know what's going through that little head of his, and that'll make it easier for me to parent him. So it's not even that I'm sexist. I'm just lazy. Why did Indian people hate having daughters back in the day? Like, what was the reasoning? Okay, let me Google it. Hold on one second. Why did Indian people prefer sons over daughters? Okay, let's see. Son preference and daughter neglect in India. Common wisdom is that the preference for sons is motivated by economic, religious, social, and emotional desires and norms that favor males and make females less desirable. Parents expect sons but not daughters to provide financial and emotional care, especially in their old age. Well, that's not true nowadays. You can make the argument that like daughters take more care of their parents than sons do. Sons add to family wealth and property while daughters drain it through dowries. Sons continue the family lineage while daughters are married away to another household. Yeah, that makes sense. Like the sons worked on the farm all day, and then you come home hungry and your daughter's making food for another family, right? And you're like, dude, what the fuck? Where's the spinach at? Sons are also preferred because they perform important religious roles, and sons defend or exercise the family's power while daughters have to be defended or protected, creating a perceived burden on the household. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for all the like little Indian girls that got neglected back in the day. If you have a daughter, you should definitely count your blessings, but I think it's okay to be happy to have a son too, you know? Dude, I celebrated way too hard when we found out we're having a boy, right? We paid a little extra to like do this test when they tell you like really early if you're having a son or a daughter. And yeah, when I found out it was a boy, I was doing like jumping jacks. I think that's why my wife didn't want to have a gender reveal party, because she knew I would have celebrated a little too hard when the blue balloon came out of the cake or whatever the fuck they do at those things. Dude, I knew I was going to have a son the minute she got pregnant, right? Because like the genes in my family are way too strong. My dad had 2 sons, no daughters. So it was just me and my brother. And then my dad's parents had 7 sons, no daughters in the 1950s. 7 sons, no daughters in the 50s in India. People thought like my grandma was the coolest lady ever. Motherfuckers used to bow down when she entered the room. She was like the Michael Jordan of our village. 7 finals appearances, 7 championships. Fucking clutch, man. That was as good as it could get back in the day. 7 children, 7 sons, no daughters. In that twisted world they lived in, having 7 sons and no daughters was like winning the lottery. My dad told me that they used to get like so many marriage proposals because everyone wanted to breed with them, right? Because they were like more genetically inclined to have boys, right? But then my dad's eldest brother married like some broad from like a prominent family, and they had a daughter. Motherfuckers were expecting them to have like twin boys or something, but they had a baby girl, and then all those marriage proposals vanished. But my grandma, man, 7 sons, no daughters. She was a legend back then. Could you imagine having 7 sons in this day and age? You'd get canceled. They'd probably like chop your uterus off after the 4th son. People are already like asking me if I want to have another kid. It's like, dude, of course I want to have another kid. It's just like, who the fuck is going to take care of it? You know what I mean? But do I want to? Of course. Why not? Dude, I would have so many fucking kids if it was feasible. Like if I was the king of the universe and I can do whatever I wanted, I would have like 18,000 kids. Because if you have like 18,000 kids, at least one of those 18,000 little shits will make something out of themselves. Your legacy is like basically secured. You know what would be the best part about having 18,000 children? No one could ever call you a deadbeat father, right? It's like, hey man, I'm sorry I forgot your birthday, but I have 17,999 other kids. It's hard to keep track. Dude, if you had 18,000 kids and one of them had a shit life, it would be like the mom's fault. No one can even blame you. Like, who's the rapper? Who's the guy? He has like 20 kids with 17 different baby mamas. Is it Future? I gotta look this up. 1 second. All right. Rapper with most baby mamas. Oh shit, it's DMX. Okay. DMX had 15 children with 9 different women. Although he keeps much of the specific information private, he has disclosed the names of some of the mothers and children. 15 kids and 9 different baby mamas. That's wild. And he was a drug addict. And he was probably always on tour. I'm sure some people consider DMX a bad father, but if DMX had like 18,000 kids, he would have been off the hook. Who had the most kids in history? Maybe I should look that up. Hold on. Who has fathered the most children in history? Okay, let's see. Genghis Khan, 2,000 to 3,000 children. Whoa, that's crazy. From various sources, one can conclude that Genghis Khan fathered over 1,000 children. He had a large harem of women he considered beautiful, whom he captured or acquired in some other way, reaching numbers of approximately 2,000 to 3,000 children. Whoa, that's crazy. He captured them. Yeah, Genghis Khan was fucked. He was like a relentless conqueror and a murderer and a rapist, but you can't say he was a bad father. Oh, man. I never got to name my son, though. We had to go with, like, my wife's choice of name. You know me. I wanted to go Desi, man. I wanted to name my kid, like, Punjab or something. But she wanted to go with, like, a more whiteier name, I guess you can say. I tried fighting it for a bit, but then I just caved. I'm like, fuck it, man. Name the kid whatever you want. My family will just give him, like, some Desi nickname at some point. I wanted to name him after me originally, like my name and then add a junior at the end, but the wife was so against it. That's how you know you're a loser. Like, that's a litmus test. Like, go home and ask your wife or your girlfriend, like, hey, if we have a son, could I name it whatever your name is, Junior? And if she says yes, that means you're doing well in life. If she says no, you need to get your shit together. Like, you know the basketball player Gary Payton? He played for, like, the Seattle Sonics back in the 90s, right? He had 2 sons 5 months apart from 2 different women. He named one Gary Payton Jr. and the other Gary Payton II. And his baby mamas had no problem with it. I fucking run away from chicks if they try to talk to me. But I can't name my son after me. You know what I mean? I'm not having another kid till I have a couple mil in the bank. Then I might be able to name him after me. Like my name, Junior. But with my luck, I'll end up having a daughter. Oh, dude, if you ever want to feel like a loser, try buying a house in Surrey right now, man. Like, not an apartment or a condo. I'm talking about a detached home. That shit will humble you real quick. And these fucking, like, real estate agents, they want you to do, like, half the work now. They want you to get pre-approved. It's like, dude, if I wanted to get pre-approved, what the hell would I need you for? I need you to use your, like, magical realtor powers to get me a property above my station. That's why I hired you. Anyways, I got the house though. We finished up most of the renos. It's been really hard with the baby, but yeah, what else? I bought a new couch. I splurged a little extra on it. Because if you're a real motherfucker like me, you spend a lot of nights on the couch. What else? I got to do the gutters and all that shit. But I'll figure that out in the summer. There's so many like little things left to do. The wife wants me to build a garden in the backyard. Like I would have any idea how to do that. I get the concept of like growing your own vegetables. Like I would love to own chickens that like lay fresh eggs and all that, but like how? Like what am I supposed to do? Elon Musk should work on that, right? Start training animals to be a little bit more self-sufficient, right? Like an app where like the animal comes to your house and delivers what you need. Like if you want eggs, you just purchase them on an app, right? And then in like 25 minutes, depending on traffic, a chicken just goes to like your backyard and lays like 20 fresh eggs. Right? And then you could like track the egg when it's on the way to your house, like Uber Eats does, right? You keep looking at your phone every couple minutes, like, dude, where the fuck is this guy? What's taking so long? Dude, you want milk? You Uber it, right? A cow shows up and somehow milks itself, and then you got a fresh gallon. That's how it should be, man. Right? Like you want to fertilize your yard? You Uber it and like a horse comes to your backyard and just shits everywhere. Wait, is fertilizer shit? Fertilizer shit, right? Oh, I gotta look this up, man. It's gonna drive me crazy. Hold on 1 second. Is fertilizer poo? Okay, let's see. Important difference between manure and fertilizer. Oh, manure. Manure is what I was thinking about. Manure is organic material that is prepared by decomposition of crop residue or animal droppings, which is added to the soil to improve fertility. What animals do we manure though? You know what I mean? Okay. I might as well look it up too. I mean, we've come this far. What animals manure do we use? Okay. Manure is essentially animal poop. Not all animal droppings can be used in the garden, however, such as the droppings of household pets like cats and dogs. Oh man, that would be too convenient. If you could use like dog shit as manure, you just feed your dog some like leftover butter chicken. Beats the whole neighborhood. Okay, the droppings of cows, sheep, poultry, and horses are the manure that is commonly used in the garden. Horses, I knew it. Horses probably have like the best manure, right? Like a roided up horse. What's a dawn manure? Probably like tiger manure or lion manure, because it's like the most dangerous to get. How crazy would that be, man? Like one day you go to your backyard and there's like a cow shitting in your garden and like watering your plants. And then his like cow wife hands you a fresh fruit basket. I mean, like how high would you have to be to see that shit? The fuck am I talking about? All right, I think we've officially veered off the tracks here. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm back in Surrey and I have a son, and it's really hard not to be grateful right now. I'd be having the time of my life if I wasn't so sleep deprived, but it's all good. That's going to do it for this episode. I know a bunch of people emailed me, but I'll get to the emails next time. I got to get downstairs and sterilize my son's bottles before he wakes up. What the fuck is happening to me? All right, I'll talk to you guys soon.